Welcome, welcome, welcome. evening, great people. Good evening, good evening. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. It's another day that God has given us. It's another opportunity that God has given us as we share, as we build one another. We thank God for helping us and enabling us to share the wisdom and what He has given us. So thank you. Thank you so much. Keep sharing, keep tagging your friends. I can see amazing man here, the rich man, Gitonga, George. Thank you. I hope my mom, Reverend Winnie, she's in, or you're taking note for both of you. Simon, my dad from Thika, thank you so much. Reverend Maureen, thank you. Keep sharing. Sholuta, thank you. God bless you. My other Reverend Jane, John, thank you for coming in. God bless you. Let me know where you're watching us. Tell us how the sound is. Tell us how the video is so that we can get into money matter. Today we are talking about money, pesa. We want to discuss how we can grow our business. So make sure that you are able to share. You are able to tell us how the sound is. Tell us how the sound is. Tell us how the video is, so that we can be able to move on well. Yes, I'm waiting to hear. I'm waiting to hear from you, my great viewers, how the sound is, how the video is. Sound clear? Thank you. My director is telling me sound is clear. Video is okay. Good. Thank you. This is amazing. Sound is clear. Thank you, Simon. God bless you. Good. Keep sharing, keep tagging. We need to share this wisdom. We need to share these nuggets. And God will do us well. Because as the Bible says that Jesus, when he was leaving his disciples, said, do business till come back. Occupy till I come back. When you read in the book of Genesis, Genesis chapter 1 and verses 28, 29, that when man was created, was told to multiply, increase. So increase and multiplication, it is our DNA. That's who we are in the scope of business, in scope of what we do. And tonight we want to start from the foundation. How can we be able to build a sustainable business idea that can be able to go through different phases of business. So that's what we'll be looking tonight. But I want to give a disclaimer, because it is very important to understand that not everybody was created, not everybody that is cut for business. Some people are well under employment. They can do well under employment. There are people that give them a job that is cut, that is well defined. They will do it very well. So it is not everybody that is cut for business. Let's make that very clear. It's not everybody that have entrepreneurial spirit and entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurial guts and power to do. So it's very good to understand what you are cut for, whether you are good in business, and there are people that probably even in their life, when you listen to the employment story, probably they were employed for a year or two. Like I usually tell people, the longest I've been employed in a formal employment, it's only 1 year and 8 months. The rest of my life I have known to do business. So it's not everybody that is cut for business. So if you are cut for employment, please serve well, diligently, and God is going to bless you in that field and settle there. because there are people who they have tried business and probably it's not in their DNA. They keep, they invest, they put their money into business, and then they cannot sustain a business. Then in a short run, probably they close the business. Then they go back to employment. Then they do some saving, come back into it. So it's good to know. It's good to know which is your area, so that you can fit well and you can be able to serve well there. So tonight we want to talk about how do you birth a business idea? Where can you be able to know? How can I be able to know that this business idea is viable? How can I be able to know that this thing that I want to start, I can be able to sustain it in the long run? And also we're going to address what is happening in the current economy in terms of, a business is not making profit. And I was sharing with someone in the morning and I was telling her that at this particular season, any person who is in the business, your biggest goal is not the profit margin, but how you can be able to maneuver this season in terms of sustainability and maintenance of your business. By doing what? By closing your profit margin and rebranding yourself, repackaging yourself so that you can still make yourself relevant even when the business environment is a bit hostile. So I want to start from how do you birth a business idea, and I'm going to talk about 6 or 7 or 5 areas that can help you to birth a business idea that is viable. And I want to start by saying this, that money, what we call money, in exchange of a client or a service provider, and then probably from a customer and the service provider. Anytime there is that exchange of money from the two, a customer and the service provider, or a client and and a customer, or rather a customer and the service provider, and all these are, every time there is an exchange of money and goods, that money is a medium of exchange between someone who have a problem and someone who is solving a problem. That is very important. That money is an exchange. It's an exchange between, in the early market, they would say about barter trade. So every time there is exchange of money, there must be something that is being solved. For instance, when you get into a hotel, either in a restaurant, you have your money, your 200 shillings, and you're hungry. And then the person who in the hotel, as a business person, either as a waiter and as a cook and a chef and all that, they have food, but they don't have money. So they have food, they don't have money. Their problem is money. You have money, you don't have food, so your problem becomes the food. So when you meet with the hotelier, or when you get into a hotel, you meet someone who have food and you have money, then you exchange. So you buy food, you give them money, they give you food, because you had money but money could not solve your problem. So I always tell my student entrepreneurship, the business that you want to do must be solving people's problem, because money is an exchange between a problem and a solution. So when we talk about giving birth to idea, I won't start from that point. The best way to give birth to a business idea, see where there is a lot of challenge. Where are people struggling within your within your environment? Like when we talk about where you stay, can you be able to single out one common challenge majority of the people are going through? For example, if from your estate, people, they have to walk maybe a kilometer or so to access vegetable, and you can be able to sample and see, like in our estate, there are 10 families, they have to walk a kilometer. Then that becomes a challenge for them. That becomes a problem, because there is the time, there is walking and all that. And remember, every time a client, that's why they say that a client is the king and the queen. That means every person who have money, they want to make sure that their problem is solved at their comfort level. So the best, one of the best area of giving a birth to a business idea is seeing the challenge, the problem that is within your environment. And there are quite a number of people who are going through, or rather they're facing the same problem. So once you are able to single out and see this is the challenge that is there, then you package yourself and come up as a solution. Are we together? So you give birth out of the challenge that people are going through. So if you can be able to analyze the environment that you are in and be able to see 1-2 areas of a challenge, probably people are getting, if you look some few years ago, people used to go to milk ATMs, but you find there are people who are coming even to the estate because they realize that there is someone who doesn't want to have to walk maybe 600 meters to go and get milk in the ATM. So someone decided, let me bring the milk into your doorstep. That is, it's solving someone's problem, and solving someone's problem, you give birth to a business idea. So one area you can be able to give birth to a business idea is that place you can solve someone problem. Because we said if you can solve someone problem, then at the end of the day they have the will to give you money which you're looking for. So I have said number one is, can you be able to analyze from your environment which is one of the challenge you can be able to recognize, which problem can you identify? Then that problem, if you can identify it well and you can be able to solve it, then there is a business for you. Are we together? So that is number one. Number two, how can you be able to give birth to a business idea? Probably there is a service you have been sourcing for, and not only you have quite a number of people who are trying to access the same services or the same product, and there is frustration or the disappointment either by the service provider or someone who provide that goods, and you feel these people are getting frustrated time and again, and you find through that frustration that you're going through, you can give a business idea out of it, where you come and improve. You come and make sure that henceforth the same client, the same product, but they are not frustrated as they used to be frustrated. For example, if probably the guy who supplies milk in your estate probably comes late, he comes 8, 9, then you decide I'll close this gap by making sure that I'm able to bring milk at 6. What does that mean? All those parents who are taking kids, they will have, as they're taking their kids, they can be able to buy milk from you. So when this guy who is coming at 8, you have already taken control of the market. So if you want, and there are people who have been able to capitalize on it, where they see this is where customers are getting frustrated, this is where customers are not satisfied, this is where probably they're getting substandard goods, then you come in and complement that. Can you be able to see the services that you give? For example, probably it's from your tailor, whatever they do, and you realize probably either they're taking too long, either probably they're not honest, either probably they don't give the best quality of what you want to get, and you find the same complaint. Then you come into place, and at the end of the day, what you do, you come and close that gap. One, you become real time, that customers, they don't have to wait. Number two, you work on your customer care. Number three, you're able to do follow up on your customers. That's how you're able to give birth of a business idea, when you are able to analyze a challenge, a frustration that customers have gone through. So every time you hear a customer complaining and you are fair and you can be able to bridge that gap, please, that is a business opportunity. If you're complaining now and then and you can be able to do that job, please run for it. That's a business opportunity. Run for it. That's a business opportunity. Because remember we said this, that customers are looking for efficiency and effectiveness. So if you can be able to bridge that, then let me tell you, customers are going to flow on your side. If probably in your estate you find probably there are 2 or 3 restaurants, and probably when you go there, customers are not satisfied, they keep complaining. Take those complaints, turn them into business opportunity. So I've said number one, see, if you can be able to solve someone's problem, if you can be able to analyze what people are suffering much, then that's a business opportunity you can be able to birth. Number two, when customers and clients are frustrated either by a service or a product, and you can be able to merge that, you can be able to close that gap, run for it, that is a business opportunity. Number three, how you can be able to birth your business idea. It's when you have a passion and change your passion into profit. Let me repeat that. When you have passion, what are your interests? What are your motivations? What is that you love doing? That's what you love doing. Don't give it for free. Monetize it. Nowadays, you go to social media, they're talking about monetization. They're talking about how can you make a coin out of what you love doing. If you're a comedian, how can you be able to brand yourself and make a coin out of it? If you're a motivational speaker, how can you be able to package yourself and make some coin out of it? Don't just live with that passion and helping people for free. Remember, today we are talking about business. You are not Red Cross. Your purpose out there is to make an extra coin. So you need to package yourself out of your passion, grow that passion into well, get information about it, see how well you can be able to brand yourself, see well how you can be able to package yourself, build a name out of it, a brand name out of it. Then from passion, you can be able to make money. And let me tell you, when you give birth to a business idea around your passion, the best thing is there is low cost of implementing your business. Because if you have to wake up and go talk to people, I need myself and probably a good suit, and I'm good to go. That is money. If you're a baker and probably you have, that is your passion, and then you top up with the small skills, there is something you can do out of it. You can even start a bakery from your own house because that is your passion, that's what you love, and you actually from your phone you can be able to market your product. What is your passion? What are you doing about it? And let me tell you, everybody in this world, there is something that you have and nobody else will have it. There is something you can do. There is something you can do. There are guys who can draw. They can sit down and come out with a good portrait. That is a business. The guys who can knit. And I remember I was telling people, we need to go out there and become creative. See what can you do that is out of the box, out of your passion. What is that thing that you can do and can attract people? Remember that your gift will take you before kings. You're not taking before kings to go and eat. That is an opportunity. And I want to challenge each and every person listening to me. That passion you have, that interest you have, you can make coins out of it. And I always tell people, the moment I realized I can talk to people, this was back 2008. And I woke up in the morning and I remember getting to one of the principal's office and I was like, give me an opportunity to talk to Form 1s and just encourage them. And let me tell you, from there, I gave birth to a business that has sustained me to where I am today, out of a passion. Tonight, sit down and see what is that passion. Because everybody you ask them, they are saying there is no jobs. There is no job opportunity. Tunaomba serikali ingilie kati. Tunaomba serikali up to now, and I was thinking like, for how long are we going to complain? For how long are we going to sit down and say, hey, what is that thing that I have that I can be able to do? I wish you realize what you can do and then start looking for the opportunity. Have you ever asked people, what can you do? And they're like, I'm not sure. I don't know what I'm good at. Tonight, I want to challenge you. Out of passion, you can change into profit. That thing that you love. If you love football, guys are making money out of football. Did you see a girl breaking towards record out of running their legs? And that is a business, a brand. You can sing and you are just there. See what you can do out of it. Think outside the box. Get people who can coach you and they can be able to help you to see how you can brand yourself, how you can patent your ideas so that you can bring money. This evening we are talking about money. Whatever you have to make an extra coin. I hope someone is getting what I'm saying. Let me see what you guys are sharing. I can see guys have really shared. Thank you. Milka is here. Yes, I know Milka can be able to attest to what I'm saying. Caro, thank you for coming. Thank you, Mam Tabitha. Sound iko chonjo. And I hope see your sound. Baka message inaingia vizuri. Ni Momoshai, thank you for coming in. God bless you. Tag those brothers and sisters so that you can be able to flow. Yes, I don't know where people are. I hope you're able to flow together. Thank you. So you have to change your passion into profit, and that is very important. So see that gift you are carrying, how well you can be able to package yourself, how well you can be able to brand yourself, how you can give a name, a household name, and then from there, see how well you can start to be able to make. Even if you make 100 shilling, tomorrow you'll make 150 shillings. You are growing. Business It's not instant. It's like a process that you have to go through. That thing that you love doing. If you love talking to people, see, what can I do out of talking to people so that I can be able to make ends meet? Don't sit down and say there is no business opportunity. There are so many business opportunity. Number 4, how can you birth a business idea? It is the skills you have, the knowledge, the know-how, that thing that you can do. If you're a tailor, you don't have to wait to be employed to someone's design shop. There is something you can start from that because you have a skill. The reason why you have a skill is so that you can do something with it. What skill do you possess? What skill do you have tonight? And how can you be able to start a side hustle? Are you good in agriculture? What can you be able to do out of it? What is that thing that you can be able to do from the skills that you have acquired? The skills you have, probably you're a teacher. You can start. You don't have to be employed. See, from your estate, you can be able to have a school, a homemade tuition program that is unique, that you package yourself. When you reach to this parent, you're like, give me your kids, I'll come in for only for 1 hour, and you're going to pay 200 shillings. That 200 shillings, you didn't have it. That knowledge you have. Don't just wake up in the morning and take your phone and sit down and TikTok. And I'm saying TikTok is not wrong, it's okay, but see yourself. And in the moment you're doing something, you're also opening your mind. It's from one step to the other. That skill that you have, that knowledge that you have, don't just wait and say that I'm looking for employment. Before you get that employment, employ yourself. See where you can be able to volunteer yourself. I remember this came into my mind. There are people that gotten job opportunity by just volunteering themselves. They said, give me an opportunity. Yes, I don't need money, it's okay, but at the back of your mind, what you are doing, you are creating a room for you, you are opening a door for you. The skills you have, the knowledge you have, that is a tool that you need to use. Don't just sit down. Don't just sit down. See what you can do. And out of it, what happened is you're going to attract favor. People are like, hey, there is something you're doing out of diligence, out of passion, out of the self-motivation that you have. Eventually, there are people who want to order. Let me tell you, if you can draw out of that, wake up one day, draw like 5 pictures of the people that you know in church. Go give them on Sunday as a gift. Next Sunday, draw another one. Tell them, you remember I gave you a gift? Yes, please appreciate me the 50 shillings so that I can be able to buy a pen. What you are doing is you are creating a rapport. You are creating a relationship with them. The skill you have, the knowledge you have, please don't sit down on it. Wake up, see what you can do. See what extra you can do. Even if you employ and you know you have a certain skill, you have a certain knowledge of something, please go for it. Don't just wake and sit down and say all is okay, or waiting for manna to fall from heaven. Wake up, use that skill that you have. I hope people are listening tonight. I hope the young people listening to me. That skill you have, if you can write something, start seeing what you can write. Out of it, you'll never know where it's going to fall to. So that skill you have, don't sit down with it. Do something about it. So as you're evaluating yourself and you want to start a business idea and you're wondering, how do I start about it? How do I go about it? See the knowledge you have, see the skills that you have, and you'll be able to forge forward. Then point number 5, how you can be able to birth a business idea, is exposing yourself to business environments. When there is symposiums, when there are meetings, when there are seminars, when there are workshops, don't say you cannot attend because probably that is. As long as probably it's free, knowledge is power. When they're expos, go for those expos. You'll be able to learn something. Expose yourself to market influencers. That's how you are able to get an idea. That's how someone will tell you, I need a certain thing. How do you know we can be able to get it? Don't just live in a village and expect things are going to follow you there. When there is an opportunity for you to learn, when there is an opportunity for you, go for it. When there are seminars, and majority of seminars are free, go for it. Probably you need to pay 500 shillings. Pay for it. There is a price to accessing excellence. You can't wake up in the morning and expect things are going to happen in your, in your environment. You need to start your environment by going out there. When you find people are meeting, do you know, ask them, can you tag me along? Sometimes they will think you are bothering and probably, but at the end of the day, you know what you want for. You have to pay price for what you want. And I'm saying these all avenues, if you're able to take one and learn with it for a given period of time, you'll find you have started a business out of it. This is how you get business idea. This is how you find, like, there are people who need iron sheet, and wherever you are, probably you can be able to become a middleman. And even if you make 100 shilling or 50 shillings from an iron sheet, and you sell 10 or 20, you have your 2,000 or your 1,000 shilling. You didn't have it, and number two, you have acquired skills. You have known how to negotiate. You have known how to network. You need to know how to network, because that's how you create business. That's how you are able to know what is happening in the market, what is trending in the market, what is missing in the market, what can I be able to do? How can I be able to create my own market niche? That's how you're able to bridge that thing that you want to do. So every time there is an opportunity for you to learn, please run for it. Go for it. Make sure that any seminar you are, either in a social hall, either in your church, please attend. Take your pen. Go with your pen. Remember, when you have knowledge, when you have power, I want to tell you, you have something that can propel you to the next phase of your life. That's how we get business idea. So out of the frustration people are going through, analyze what they're going through, do something about it. Out of your passion, see what is your passion, what you love doing, start from it, and start volunteering. Are we together? See what is a challenge in your environment, what people are not able to access, what are people saying that they would want to have. Go for it. Are we together? Out of that, see what are the skills that you have? What are the knowledge that you have? What can you be able to build out of it? Then from there, be able to do something about it. Then when there is opportunity for you to learn, those are the place where you get business idea. See something new you can be able to introduce in the market. Go for it. So that's how we give business idea. Now, once you have this business idea, it is not enough to wake up in the morning and take your saving and put into it. You need to do what you call market surveying and also market mapping. If today I want to start supplying milk, just an example, or probably I know a friend of mine who wants to set a barber shop. Now, if you want to set a barber shop, ask yourself, go in that place, in that environment, and do a market survey. Where are you doing market survey? Next month, the third week, we're going to look what you call the break-even point. And I know a number of you, they know the period that you take before your business can be able to operate, at optimal or equilibrium level that is not making profit nor loss. That place, it depends on how well were you able to do your mapping. Before I can take my 20,000 and start supplying milk, I want to see the households around that place. How much are they consuming? So that whatever I'm putting in, there is also an output in terms of clients who need my service. If I want to put a bubble, try to do a survey and see how many bubbles are in that area, because you don't go blindly. Because unfortunate thing we have in our business market today is people copy pasting. You get someone starting an M-Pesa, you find like 100 M-Pesa. It's okay. I don't refuse. But ask yourself, if the 100 M-Pesas, come and put a milk bar there, so that when people they withdraw, they can buy milk and bread out of there. If everybody is selling potatoes, come and see whether you can be able to sell cabbage. Why? If 100 people are selling potatoes, that is also a market for you, because where do they buy cabbage? You also need to come and bridge that gap. So before you can come and implement this business idea, you have thought of it, you need to take time and do market mapping and market research. See, how many people are my competitors? Because the higher the competition, the longer it will take for you to break events. If you have invested 1,000, 100,000 or 100G in that business and you have higher competition, that means it might take 1 or 2 years for you to get back your 100G. That means before you can reap back your capital, it take 2 years. That means you have been in business for 2 years getting your money back. No profit, no loss. And you know what? They say in business, that any business, we can always say about its success after it had hit 5 years in market. So if you're in business between 0 and 5 years, and someone added some 2 years and said between 0 to 7 years, you are not sure about your business. You are still ish. After 7, 8, 9 years, that's when we can talk about your business being stable. Then after then, you are going to look about business succession. So when we talk about mapping, is a very important aspect about building a sustainable business, a growing business. So don't wake up blindly and say that I want to start supplying Mutumba clothes or the second-hand clothes. You need to know, who are my target people? Can they be able to afford? If I was to buy a shirt at 100 shilling and come and sell at 200 shilling, is a priority for them clothing? Because that's very important. I find people who, yes, they have good business idea, but it doesn't fit their environment. And they are frustrated. Not that their business is not okay. It's because they never package their business according to their market. I hope I'm clear there that you need to do a very good market research. Then once you have been able to do your market research, you have done your mapping and you have known who are my competitors, what is their strength, so that you're able to see if their strength is probably in terms of the effectiveness, then try to see what is their weakness. Every time you're getting into a new market, you're coming to bridge the gap, what the weakness that is in that market. And that's what gives you, it gives you a competitive edge. That you are able to say, I have introduced a product, I've introduced a service, and you're coming to close all the gaps that the current service provider or products that are there, they don't have. So when you're talking about business, don't just wake up in the morning blindly and get your 100G and put into business. My friend, you'll get frustrated. And then you say, oh, unajua mimi si kwa mse wa bizna. Si sorry na bizna is because sometimes we rush too fast. Take your time. Understand your market. Do your fixed cost and variable cost. These are the things we're going to discuss as we move on. So that by the time you are getting into business, you are armed. You can be able to project. How long will I take for me to break even? How am I going to package yourself? How are you going to brand yourself? All these things comes when you have done your market research. You have seen, if I'm doing a barber shop and a salon, and probably they're charging 100 for shaving, I'm going to introduce 80 shillings package, and not only 80. After you have done that, I'm going to make sure there is a bit of a massage here and there. That package itself, a better package at a lower cost, but you have to know, how do I bridge the gap? Why are they charging 100 shillings? And if they're charging 100 shillings, can I still get a market and charge 80 shillings? What is the catch? What is the catch? Because I have realized the biggest challenge with guys getting into business, it is lack of mentorship. It is lack of evaluation and a good plan. That's why when you go to a bank to ask for money, what they ask you, can you come with a business plan? We want to see your projection. We want to see your marketing skill. We want to see your financial understanding. We want to see your financial projection. We want to see your human resource. Why they ask you for that? So that they know, if you give you 300 G's, after 3 years you can give us our money back and we can leave you better. I hope I'm clear. So don't wake up in the morning and say, you know what, I want to resign and get into business. My friend, there are guys who are in business and you think they're doing well, and I'm telling you they're struggling. They go into bed and they are crying nights because they're like, they made a mistake of just pumping all this money in the market and they had not done enough market research. And probably as we move on, maybe we're going to talk between an entrepreneur and an investor. An investor is someone who gets their money and they put in a certain business. To them, they are not directly involved in what happened. They have invested either by share. They don't know who is the man. Probably they don't care who is the cleaner in that company. They don't care who is the line manager in that company. What they know, at the end of the year, they're going to get their dividend. But the moment you become an entrepreneur, what happens is the first day you become the cleaner, the first day you become the manager, the first day you become the cashier, the first day you become the marketer, the first day you become auditor, the first day you become everything. So when you are not prepared for this and you just think like, oh, do you know what? I'm going to get into this business and I'm going to make money. And then you get frustrated and you have put your money. That's the moment you find someone put a good infrastructure in terms of a building. They do the interior decor. Then after a month, they close it down because they're like, they had not done a good market survey. So my point was, once you have done and you have gone through and you have seen this is my business idea, then sit down, do a very good market research. Number 2, do mapping for how far can I be able to introduce my products. Number 2, you also need to understand whether your idea is viable. You can have a good idea, but it is not the right time for that idea. There's a difference between good and right. So you need to also see viability of that idea you want to introduce. At this particular season, their business you cannot introduce because why? It is not, it is not the first priority of people spending because of how the economy is. So as you're introducing business, you need to also to evaluate and see, is it what people are looking for? Is that what people are looking forward to getting into it? So you cannot just wake up in the morning, like just walk around in your hood and probably start selling shoes worth 5,000, 6,000. Ask yourself, with this economy, how many people will still be able to have an extra coin and be able to buy a shoe worth 6,000? So you need to ask this question so that your business might be good but is not viable at that particular moment, because every business idea has a certain parameters that you need to consider. You don't just wake up in the morning and say, do you know what, this is a good idea. Yes, we appreciate it's a good idea, but it's not viable at this particular moment. So viability of an idea is very important. Also look the viability, how viable that idea is and where your location is. You can have a good idea, it's a very good idea, but you cannot be able to, the location you want to set it. Like for example, go into a hospital. Any hospital that you can think. And then once you get into that hospital, you get someone putting a very classy, fashion center, good suits, good dress. Ask yourself, is that location, is it the viable location for that a business idea? No, because when you get into a hospital, you need to ask yourself, which business complement a hospital? That is very important, because you have find people saying, this is my passion. Yes, you could even have a house, a premises around that place. But at the end of the day, it might take so long for you to pick, rather than you could go to another environment and even probably get a rental place or a rental premises and set that business and be able to pick faster and pay for rent, rather than setting somewhere probably because you have a premise and you're not paying and think, let me settle there. So you must look at the viability of that idea in terms of season, in terms of location, in terms of the capital that is required, in terms of how long will it take for you to break even. That is very important in terms of viability in setting out. So I've said do the mapping, then from there see whether you are able, is it a viable idea for you to do. Then number 3, ask yourself, when you want to set this business idea, from what you have birthed, you have said, I want to be selling phones, it's okay. Then you have said it's a viable idea, it's okay. You have done your mapping, it's okay. Then ask yourself, do I have, if I'm the one who's doing the job, do I have the skill to maintain that business? Or do I have to employ? If I have to employ, am I able to sustain, employees? Because what matters at the initial stage is the consistent and persistence of that business. Clients want to be sure when they come tomorrow, they're going to get better services, they're going to get better product. Sustainability, consistent is very important. It's not just a matter of starting a business, then tomorrow you're opening your business at 10 and probably there's a client who was there at 9. You're going to frustrate them and they're going to run away. So when you start a business, it's not just a matter of starting that business. There are other factor you need to consider. How consistent will you be? Are you able to, because there's another challenge I have seen with entrepreneurs, they are not able to have quality and staffs that can be able to be there for long. So you find today you walk in, you get different people. Before you teach them, client, they start even questioning your managerial skill, because staffing is a very important factor in terms of creating customer loyalty and customer sustainability. So when we are talking about building a customer relation, it depends on that place of consistency. If you open your business at 7, let it be at 7. Not today at 7, tomorrow at 9, another at 10. That people cannot be able to predict you. Customers, clients, they want to be, they want to work with someone who is predictable. Someone they know. If we walk at so-and-so's barber shop at 7, I'll find it open. I'll get good people who can be able to talk well, people who understand customer care. That is very important. It's not just a matter of getting money and popping into business. You must ask yourself, do you have a conducive environment to sustain that business? When you get into business, I'll tell you this: profit is not your first goal. Let me repeat this. When you get into business, profit is not your first goal. Actually, I'll always tell my students that profit is number 4. Number 1, when you start a business, is solving someone's problem. It's not about how much you're going to make, it's how much will they be satisfied so that they can give you much. And I give this example. When you go to a dentist, to a doctor, a dentist, those guys who deal with, meno and all that. When you walk in, or any hospital and you are sick, when you get into a doctor or, a physician, you don't start negotiating. Do you know what? I have 500 shilling. Please, nitengeneze, just treat me for 500 shillings. That is not the point. When you get into a physician, when you get to a doctor, you are patient, you are treated. Once your problem is solved and they hit you with a bill of 10,000 or 5,000, even if you have 500, you start comparing, you start asking people, you start calling people. Why? Because once a problem is solved, once you are set free, you have no problem even selling a phone to make sure you appreciate someone who solved your problem. And the same mentality you should have. Anytime you are doing a business, it's not about just money. It's about making sure that these people are satisfied. These people are feeling okay, because as long as they are satisfied, they will come tomorrow. If they come tomorrow, it's a sense of you getting money. When you go to somewhere and you're not treated well, you don't go back there. It doesn't mean you don't have money. It doesn't mean you didn't that harvest. The point is that every time you set yourself to do business, your first agenda should be solving a problem. Because once you solve a problem to a client, what happens is you're creating a rapport with them, you're creating a relationship with them, and they would eagerly want to come back. They would want to refer you to other potential clients. And as long as they are, they're talking well about you, they are giving you they're giving you a public and a private, public and free market. They're marketing you for free because they were satisfied. So when you're setting to do a business, ask yourself, which problem are you solving? So solving problem is number 1 reason for doing business. Number 2, you must brand yourself. Branding and packaging, that becomes your competitive edge. That means if you brand yourself, if you package yourself well in terms of, appearance, in terms of preference, that people are like, wow, we love the way that guy have, in terms of the colors, in terms of everything, even in terms of making sure that the comfort of your client, they would want to come back. And as they're coming back, remember, they're coming back with their money. So what you do, you don't show them how much you need their money. You need their money, but you have packaged yourself with this kind of, you are humane. There is a kind of, psychology, around them, that they're feeling so comfortable coming back. And as long as they're coming back, they're coming their money. So package your business idea that everybody wants to be associated with you. Everybody wants to be, to use your products, because there is something it gives them. So I said, once you have a business idea and you want to sit down, make sure you are able to solve a problem. As many problems you're going to solve, as many clients you're going to have. Package yourself well. Brand yourself very well. Let people know it is a brand they want to be associated with. And it's a brand that is able to sustain. It's a brand you can be able to sustain. Number 3, every time you have client, make sure you have created a good relationship with them. That even when they go, they would want to come back. When they go back, they would want to speak about you. That means once you have done that, automatically you're going to get money. And that is the ultimate goal for doing business. But don't package yourself like you're there for money minded. You must see how to get that money from their pocket in a lovely manner, in an appreciative manner. They'll feel like, wow, you're the best service provider ever. So sit down when you want to start a business, and you want to have a business that is going to go through the different phases, is going to stand different times. You have to be equipped with knowledge and information. Remember, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Guys, we cannot continue doing the same mistake in business. We cannot continue losing our money. We set a business today, we paint a house, then 3 months we close down. We cannot buy equipment, but we don't have effective and efficient support system in terms of staffs or employees. Kidogo, we close down. Today you are up in business, tomorrow you are down. There is no consistency. I know there is a graph in terms of business, but it's supposed to be gradual. It's supposed to be gradual. And that is my desire. That's why we sit here at the Well Show. We build ourselves. We make sure that we are able to share these nuggets. We are able to propel one another to becoming better in doing business. And that is my desire, that we not only get this knowledge and just stay there, but we'll be able to share and sit down with your pen. The power of succeeding and being successful in life, it lies on your power to plan, your power to project yourself, your power to see where your business is, where you do want to see, and see certain pitfalls that you may fall, and see how well can I close the gap, how well can I be able to predict what will happen, because you have knowledge and you have power. That is my prayer, that's my desire, that we'll be able to grow together in everything that we do. So I'm looking at your comments here. I'm looking at your comments so that we can be able to have on 1 or 2 comments. Thank you, my sister Nancy Milanoi from Kajiado. Thank you. God bless you. Soba, wanasamanga soba oling. Thank you, Anne, for coming in. The rest wamejificha huko. Maureen, thank you, Reverend Maureen, for that. Yes, that the mentality of no job should be a thing of the old age. Yes, there is a lot of jobs opportunity. And I always say this, that any opportunity will face you. It came dressed as a challenge. Any opportunity you'll be able to have in your life, it came presenting itself as a challenge. If you're courageous enough, if you are brave enough to face that challenge you are facing tonight, that is an opportunity to propel you to another level, to another dimension. Don't fear challenges. Don't fear obstacles, because out of those obstacles, there is a business you can birth. Don't sit down and complain. Don't sit down and murmur. Don't just say there is no opportunity, no jobs. If there is no one, create one. Yes, you have the ability to create, and no wonder God created us. So thank you so much. God bless you. I'm looking forward to see you next week. Same place, same time, as we build one another, as we share this knowledge. And that is my desire. We'll be able to grow together in the business corner. Keep sharing. Give us what you think we should do to make this show better, to build this show, package ourselves also well, brand ourselves so well, because we are growing together. So thank you so much. God bless you. I love you guys. Shalom, shalom. Keep safe. Keep sharing, keep tagging, because this wisdom is not only for us, it's for everybody at our reach. Shalom, shalom. See you next week, same place.